Write this down. Ready? All caps. FOMO. What's that stand for? Fear of missing out. It works like a charm in a car business. It works, period. But it works like a charm in the car business. They don't want to miss out. They don't want somebody seeing something, doing something, running something. They'll tell you no and go pound sand until they find out one of their colleagues, one of their competitors in their market wants it or is looking at it. Then they want it. Then they want it. Okay? So Hector mentioned something on Monday, right? He mentioned something on Monday that he likes angles. This is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about. Look, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to call this market. There's enough people in this market that you should have business in this market. Okay? And then you're going to close a couple of deals. You're going to have deals working. And then when you go into the market in the afternoon, the same thing's going to happen. Here's the beautiful thing about going into some of these markets. Okay? Detroit, you can do business with 2 dealers in that town. Not right across the street from each other, but dude, I mean, it's huge. There's tons of dealerships. You can do business with 2 dealers in that market. So it's a market where how many deals did I say? How many pieces did I just say you need to sell with your base? And you know, so obviously you can't sell, you know, but how many pieces of hybrid mail you need to sell? 60K. How many deals is that on average? 6 on average. So if you can put 2 dealers on in Detroit, right? How many pieces is that on average? What percentage? You're a third of the way there because you're working an angle and you call one city. You just work the city right. There's a difference in calling them and saying, "Hey man, I want to talk to you." Yeah. You know, but when you work the angles, that's what Hector was talking about. That's what he does. That's what he did. Work the piss out of the angles. And that's when he talks about making less calls. Because when you start working angles, you start working smart, and you're not cutting corners. Cutting corners is a negative thing that you do sometimes when you get on a demo and you try to shorten it. You're not cutting corners. You're working angles. When he said that, I thought in my head, I'm going to do a teach. This is a little piece of it, but I'm going to do something on that. Like, think about it. Don't cut corners, work angles. There's a difference. Now, I'm not a carpenter, and I'd love to know if, Billy, I know you're, worked in in shops and things like that. I don't know, I know you're not a carpenter, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, but you worked with tools way more than I did. But I mean, does anything come to your mind like that? Don't cut corners, but work angles. Anybody ever?
Oh yeah, there's a way to do something. You can get it done the right way, quicker, more efficient and faster.
Right.
By working the angle.
Cutting corners is the way I would put a bike together when my kids were small and there were bolts left over. You know what I'm talking about? Cutting corners is like, oh man, I hope this don't fall apart when they ride it. I don't know where these bolts went, but I don't know where these bolts went.
That must be extra.
Yeah. Hey, who was that this morning that said, oh yeah, was it Pastor Aaron Burke that talked about the carnival versus the fair?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I went to, it was so funny. He talked about the fair, and he said like the fair versus like the fair rides versus like Disney. Disney is like engineers and, multi-million, dollar, time and permits. And man, it's like, it's sophisticated and it's completely perfectly engineered. And then you got the fair, the carnies that roll into town, and then he goes, you walk by the fair and he goes, you look down in the garbage can next to the ride and you see a roll of duct tape and about 3 or 4 bolts that are laying there. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you feel secure. You know what I mean? It's like someone threw this in, somebody cut corners, right? But working angles is different. And guys, that's what you do. So you work angles, and then you follow up here with what you've got going on now. And what you do is you work this process. Then you do some research. The reason you got to do research is you got to make sure you got the right names. You got to make sure you got the right people. These are people that, if you're going to work FOMO, right, if you're going to work fear of missing out, get the names right, find out who they are, do some research, and then say it the right way. You don't lie. He said you don't lie, but you're calling. If you're calling somebody, then all you got to do to make that a truth is pick up the phone and call them. What if I say I'm calling Leo and I call Leo later on and Leo hangs up on me and cusses me out? Did I lie? No, I called him. I did what I said I was going to do. I didn't say I was going to sell him. I'm going to try to sell him, but work those angles. I'm going to tell you it works, and that's how you do it. All right, and then we'll do the same thing this afternoon. So Billy, we handed out cities. And again, I'll let Joe do whatever he wants to do on this part of it. Either way, if you guys don't do the front part of it, I would suggest working angles. I know you can sign up every dealer and they're not, working competitive, but I can tell you to get them to look at it, you can certainly use their competitors in the market. It works the same way. Fear of missing out. What did they see that I can't see? If they saw it, I want to see it, right? And I can assure you that. Let's do with Billy, let's do Go into Chicago, Illinois, and the greater surrounding area of Chicago. All right, so anywhere in the vicinity where, no, just the morning part of it. All right. Is anybody? I'm going to let you guys make a suggestion in mail for the afternoons. All right, what city you want in the afternoon? What state, I should say? What state? You have Texas now?
Anywhere.
You have Texas, and you have.
I'm
Okay,
in Dallas in the morning.
okay, so let's flip to. You're in Dallas in the morning. Let's stay in Texas, man. You want to go in Houston? Let's go in Houston in the afternoon. You're in Detroit. Let's. What's another big city in Ohio? Big city, huh? Cleveland. Let's go in Cleveland. Cleveland, Ohio, in the afternoon. Where are you at in the morning? Byron, where are you in the morning?
Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama. So let's go to Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia, guys. Atlanta, Georgia. Let me tell you something. Atlanta, Georgia's got a ton of strong dealers, and we don't do any business right now currently in that market. And so, all right. So Atlanta, Georgia. What do you think? And we got a lot of business in Georgia though, so we can throw out. Where are you at in the morning? Columbus, Ohio. Let's go.
Some in Miami.
He would kill Miami.
You want to do Miami? Let's do Miami, huh?
Spanish.
I was working at
there you go.
I was about to ask if I could do that.
You want to work Miami again?
Miami. That's where I started.
In the afternoon. In the morning or after? Did I give you the morning yet?
No. Yeah, you gave me Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. So do all right, Miami in the afternoon.
That's where I got the
He just took Miami from me. You saw that? He just slid in there. How about Orlando? Orlando, Florida. Huh? Orlando, Florida, baby. Come on, I feel it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a Florida, Dominican style. Like, boom, slide it in. Huh? Who else? Did I miss anybody in mail? All right, we got the afternoons. All right. What do you guys think, man? What do you guys think about this? It gives you a plan today. It gives us a focus. Takes TOs, work deals.
I was gonna say, so what we were saying is like look up. We're gonna say I'm gonna do Atlanta, Georgia. I'm gonna say, hey Mike, I'm gonna be calling Dave, Tony, and Mark over at ABC dealership later today. Let me show you what I got.
Yeah, a little less. That's more matter of fact. You want to say it in a little more. You want to leave a little bit on the table. So like, what I would probably do is use if you're calling the first person. After you call the first person and they hang up on you, then it's no longer I'm calling. I called. Hey, I just spoke with. Hey, I just spoke with. We're bringing our training. So what you're doing is you're trying to draw connected dots. So number one, what are you doing? You're bringing the training program, you're bringing your marketing program into this. Hey, I'm coming into Atlanta. We're bringing our program into the Atlanta market. Okay, that's whether it's the first call or last call. That's what you're doing, right? That's what you're doing. Number one, state the reason you're calling. You're just stating the reason. Hey man, hey listen, I know you're busy, Jeff. I won't keep you, man, but I just want you to know I'm with Auto Dealer University. I'm with IPD Agency. Listen, we're bringing this program into the Atlanta market, and I heard you're an aggressive dealer. Is that true? Okay, good, man. Because listen, I know there's a lot of aggressive dealers in the market. Matter of fact, I just talked to, Jeff Van Dyke over at Ford, obviously, big Ford store. Okay, yeah, I just got off the phone with Jeff, and then I'm getting ready to call Leo this afternoon. I'm going to call Lee and some of the other guys. Like I said, I'm coming into your market. You're letting them draw the conclusion. So it's more casual. It's more off the cuff. Let them, don't overdo it. And don't certainly underdo it. Don't over-explain because you're trying to leave some the vagueness. You're trying to make sure that there's some mystery left on the table because it's got to work for that FOMO. And you almost have to like kind of give it and take it away a little bit. So hey, listen, I just want to see if you wanted to take a look at this program as well. This is an angle. It's not the way you cold call every day. This is working an angle to get someone to look at it and say yes. And then just move on from there. If you keep working that and then build off of every one that you talk to, and then if you legitimately get an appointment, even if it's for next month, even if somebody says, call me next month, so I can call you next month. We're good. We have an appointment. Good. Then guess what? Hey, I got an appointment with Lee. Use everything as a stepping stone and a building block moving forward. And I promise you, I'm telling you guys, I've done this my entire career. This angle will work. You will close deals, and you'll close deals possibly today. It works.
And it's a credible FOMO.
Yeah.
Because I just brought up his name, and his name. You're not just saying, hey, I'm going to call this store, and I'm going
Right.
to. There's a lot of times we throw in a vague, hey, I'm calling your market today.
Right.
But when you put names to it, it's credible.
Yes.
And it just makes the fear
Yes.
missing out that much more weight.
Yeah, because they know each other. Everybody in Dealer Road, they know each other. They're competitive. Brad Wise moved here and took the job at Furman Chevy because it was next door to John Marazzi. That's what he told us. It was next door to John Marazzi. He was in Michigan, guys. And John Marazzi was on our show. He watched him. He saw him on our show. And when the opportunity, he had other opportunities. He said when his headhunter reached out or whatever person said, hey, this is available, this dealer, this GM job. And he said, okay, well, where is it? And when he looked it up and saw it was right next to Brandon Honda, he took the job. Why? Because now I've been studying this guy. Now I'm going to be right next to him and compete with him. You understand what I'm saying? That's they know each other. They know who each other are. You know, I guarantee you Hyundai in Newport Richey, #1 Hyundai store, when Friendly Kia, Don Mullis moved into town and he went from 70 cars to 500 a month and took that Kia store that's a block and a half away, right? Where do you think that business came from? Partially. Do you think Hyundai in Newport Richey knows who he is? Do you think they know who he is? Hey, what's going on with Kia down there? Who is that? I mean, they probably spies like Bill Belichick. You know what I mean? They got like people filming on the sidelines. You know what I mean? Wearing Friendly Kia shirts, putting them over there, like over the Hyundai Newport Richey's, walking around going, hey, you know, filming. That's what they're doing.
To the point when Rick, the COO, when I called him, he said, I was always wondering what they were doing over there. Is this what they're doing? Give me your information. And then that's it.
Because Don Mullis is real private. That's how it works. So you don't. So it goes unspoken. You know, they know that. And so if they know who they are, chances are there's obviously people, too, that work there. So you got Leo's a GM of a Ford store. He may not have worked for Jeff at the Toyota store, but guess what? His sales manager left Jeff's store and went to work for Leo. So he doesn't like Leo because his sales manager's over there now. That kind of stuff happens, man. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. Matt, I can't tell you how many times Matt Lasker reached out to me and said, hey, somebody left, my sales manager's just left, and he went to a store about 45 minutes away. He loves your program, but if he reaches out, man, I don't want you doing business with him. And sure enough, somebody will reach out and say, hey, I'm like, hey, man, I can't work with you. And why do you think Matt did that? Because Matt's like, you know what I mean? You know? All right?